readers! Welcome back to my channel. I hope you have been reading some nice books lately. I have a few Curious George books for you today. The first one up is called Curious George and Gymnastics Fun. Curious George, Gymnastics Fun. Today was George's first gymnastics class. His friends, Allie and Bill, were in class too. The gym looked like a playground. George wanted to try everything. The teacher said they had to stretch first. There are 3 S rules in gymnastics, she said. Stretching was the first S rule. They stretched high, they stretched low. Supervision was S rule number 2. Allie balanced on the balance beam. The teacher supervised. Bill wanted to try the rings. They were hard. Gymnasts must be really strong, said Bill. You have to build muscles, the teacher said. Until then, she gave him a bench for safety. Safety was the 3rd S rule. Soon class was over. Great job. See you next week, the teacher said. Next week? George could not wait for that long. He wanted to practice every day. If I owned a gym, it would always be open, Bill said. That gave George an idea. They could make their own gym. First, they needed mats so they could stretch. George found sleeping bags in the basement. George took them outside. He put one bag on top of the other bag. Now they were as soft as the gym's mats. What about a balance beam? Allie asked. The fence would be a good balance beam. But it was too high. It would not be safe. They put a wood beam from the fence on the ground. Bill wanted some rings. They had to be just the right size. Shower curtain rings were too small, but towel rings were perfect. George tied them to the tree. Bill still needed lots of practice. Their gym was ready. Now Allie, Bill, and George could practice every day, and they did. The next week, they went back to class. The teacher was amazed at their progress. They were gymtastic. Have you guys ever had a gymnastics class before? Did you like it? Was it fun? What was your favorite part? Our next storybook is also a Curious George one. And this book here is called Curious George Home Run. Curious George Home Run. Today, George was going to his first baseball game. His friend Marco was playing. Marco's team was the Cubby Bears. They were playing the Tiger Babies. Marco wanted to hit a home run. He practiced batting. Uh-oh, the scorekeeper was sick. Will you help George? Asked the coach. Of course, George is always happy to help. Every time a team scores, you hang a new number, said Marco. That seemed easy, but there were lots of numbers. George waited and waited. Sometimes baseball moves very slowly. By the 3rd inning, there were still no numbers to hang. Finally, there was some action. Marco got a hit. His teammate got one too. Marco slid into home plate and scored 1 run. Now George could put a number on the scoreboard. He pulled the number 5 out of the box and put it up. That's the wrong number, said Marco. George pulled another number from the box. He put up the number 8. Use a lower number. You need to put the numbers up in order, said Marco. Order? What did that mean? George was curious. Marco showed George how to put the numbers in order. Like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now you try, said Marco. George practiced putting the numbers in order. It worked. He kept score until the game was tied at 4-4. George heard a lot of noise coming from the snack counter. He could help hand out snacks. George handed out the food order for number 17. Then 14. Wait, a customer said. The number 14 comes before 17. Yeah, and 12 comes before 13, exclaimed another. George was confused. Do you know your numbers? The girl at the snack bar asked. He counted on his fingers from 1 to 10. Here's how to find out what comes after 10, she said. She held her hand over the 1 in the number 11 and the 1 in the number 12. Now George knew that 11 comes before 12, just like 1 comes before 2. He gave the customers their snacks in order. When George returned to the game, Marco was at bat, but he had hurt his foot. George would run the bases for Marco. If Marco got 3 strikes, he would get an out. Strike 1. Strike 2. Crack! Marco hit the ball hard. George had to run very fast. George made it around the bases. It was Marco's first home run. George was happy to change the scoreboard. The Cubby Bears had won 5-4. What a fun story. Have you guys ever played baseball or softball? Did you enjoy it? Did you get a home run? Well, with the weather becoming nicer outside, I hope you will get to play more baseball, softball, tennis, and all kinds of fun sports outside. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you all have a great weekend. And, as always, you are important, you are smart, and you are loved. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!